Yeah, Mo. We in this bitch tonight, baby. What's up, gang? We finna kick it off. Damn, do I need to roll up a jam? Roll up a jam. I ain't even mad though. I know how I be, man. I ain't even mad. I ain't even tripping. We still gonna get into it. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. Today we gonna be reacting to another family TV video. Shout out to the family TV. This one is about the Bloods and the GDs going to war, getting into it, poking each other up, right in the visitation room in front of family members that's visiting their loved ones in jail. This is crazy. Now, I don't know if this is the exact prison in Atlanta that we be seeing going viral all the time for guys walking around with freaking machetes and fan blades turned into literal bone breakers, man. I swear. That one that be going viral all the time, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, having 30 guys walking around in their unit and they dorm with weapons of mass destruction, because them is weapons of mass destruction. I'm telling you, little dudes now, man, get you a job. No, get you a career. Get a trade, get a career, first of all. Secondly, get you a job. If you don't got kids, you ain't got to worry about the baby mama child support drama issue. Get you 2 jobs, man. Turn that little 35,000, 30,000, 20,000 into 60, 70,000 a year and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to wind up on the end of something like this. And these dudes that don't got nothing to live for in them situations, they you know, it's different behind it. It's a whole different world. So I'm finna hit start on this video. Run to the little sink right quick. Wet this backwood up because I don't want backwood guts all in the teeth and shit while I'm on camera. Try to stay right for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into it.
Promote, this anti-gun violence. It's just too much of it going on. We're seeing it, guns are readily accessible to anybody. That's the other thing, we check and see where he got the weapons from. Were they his weapons? Did they belong to somebody else? Did he steal them? So it's questions like that we're digging in right now. And again, it just takes time because there's so many questions. And it just takes us time to focus in, because when we get an answer, we want to make sure we've got the correct answer and the one answer that we can give our district attorney's office that can be used in this case.
Okay.
Who's that weapon for? How many people?
We don't know. That's part we don't know. That's where the Mississippi Crime Lab comes in. They'll do ballistic testing and all that for us and get.
Oh, yeah.
Again,
they
we
don't
know.
Hey, y'all. They playing with more than that, baby.
Again, we don't know.
Let me see.
Understand, when the Mississippi Crime Lab comes in, they take control of the scene. They do the processing.
That's my bad.
There to assist
That's my
them.
bad.
So
that's on me.
Right now, we're waiting on
that
preliminary
on me. But guess what? So this is actually a video that I reacted to. So that's on me. That's on me. How do I want to do this? Okay, let's go here. That is on me, man. I woke up. I was taken out of my studio. I set everything up so I could just wake up and go live, right? And I woke up, the studio was taken off the screen. I went to last wins when the family feels. StreamYard thing. I went to last session on the StreamYard thing and it pulled up and it said exactly what we was in. I saw the title. But guess what? My YouTube must have got knocked back too. I'm not understanding what happened, what kind of glitching that was, but we here. It's cool. I'm human. You human. You know what I'm saying? You know how many times this computer makes me fill out something that says that I'm not a robot. So players mess up. Players mess up. That's one on me. I'm take that on the chin. But look, we here now. I got the video. Let's get into the right video.
Blinded that shit, and you know how I come when I come through the bitch. Got the streets in the lock, I can cover that shit. Got the ball in my hand, I can fumble this shit. I put no cut on this shit, I pop her ass to get me.
We don't let it go. I'm gonna give it 30 seconds before I even stop.
Organized crime operation, and it's happening right here in Central.
Organized crime part of it really is the most organized part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I got peoples in them jams, so I'm gonna be careful what I say. You never know who watch what and how people feel about it, right? But the most organized part of that ain't the prisoners. There's no way you finna tell me that if somebody come out they cell with a tattoo, they get more time. But somebody coming out they cell with a whole iced out diamond watch, regular street clothes, Jordans, jeans, and stuff, that don't get them more time. That don't raise suspicion. Yo, you've been in here for 2 years. How did you get Jordans that came out last week in here? Now, I know some people, oh, you could have got it from another inmate. No. How'd you get that diamond watch in here? We ain't come on now. How'd you get that cell phone in here? How'd you get that whole, like, come on, yo. I be seeing these guys. I saw one joint with the dude in prison sitting at the table in their cell. This dude had a couple of baby bottles of lean on the table and a couple of pounds of marijuana on the floor. How do you hide a whole pound of marijuana in a jail cell? Let alone multiple pounds of marijuana in the jail cell. So like I said, that's where the organization is, the people who bringing it in.
Georgia.
Away tonight as 3 inmates are dead and a correctional officer injured.
Now hitting me, how dangerous it really was, how much worse it could have been.
But she says something felt off when she saw guards bolt out of the visitation area Sunday afternoon, leaving one female officer inside.
Something going on. We heard very loud, almost yelling coming from the walkie-talkies. You could hear her say, "Don't open that door, you can't come in here."
Shouting, telling them to get out. The witness says the group overpowered a guard, taking his keys to then break into the visiting room.
The prisoners that were trying to come through the door were right behind her, hot on her heels, because there's blood and weapons, and they just busted through a door.
On bus station where they were set to have a family reunion on Wednesday. They had it all planned out. Jimmy Trammell, who's going to be released from that prison in Washington County, catch a bus here to this Greyhound bus station and start his new life. But he was killed before his release.
So
sometimes I think we underestimate doing a crime and going to jail.
Yeah, they do.
You coming home once you get in.
So let me ask the internet, I'm guessing. Was the guy that was supposed to come home the main target, or was he just a victim of circumstance, guilty by association? Like, that's what I want to know. Because sometimes when they find out somebody's going home, they try their hardest to crash them out and get them run their ticket.
It's a world in itself. Inside this world, we heard plenty of stories that can go either way. We heard
what I'm saying?
A little bit of time say
now hold up.
Coming home.
This guy's in jail, right?
It's a world.
He got on a name brand beanie hat.
In itself, inside this world.
They got on Nike shorts.
We heard plenty of stories that can go either way.
Look like Nike sweatpants or Nautica sweatpants.
Say that's the most
golden diamond chains. How is you getting all of this? What I would think is contraband into the prison? Like how? You didn't go out and get it yourself. Somebody had to bring this in. Nobody didn't sneak in all that stuff. You didn't get all that stuff from prisoners that's just coming in. Oh yeah, them some new shoes we ain't seen. We've been here for a minute. They can take your shoes. That's not. You didn't get all that like that.
15 plus in life. We heard some people say with 15 plus years, they made it out unscratched. Like I say, it can go either way. But today, we got a case where multiple inmates was killed on the same day during the same altercation. One inmate was set to be released less than 48 hours before he was killed, who we'll later identify. It seems it's a bigger problem.
Doing your whole bid, taking your shit to the door. You got 2 days left. I know a lot of guys not gonna want to hear this, but you got 2 days left, bro. Take your ass to the hole. Sit in a hole for them 48 hours. Go on PC if you got to. Who gives a fuck what they gotta say? You finna be free in 48 hours. You don't let nobody jack that time up on you, man. Not only did they jack his time up, man, they took his life. He did his whole bid. Family waiting for him to come home. He done made all the phone calls. Yeah, I'm coming home. I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all soon. To lose your life with 48 hours left. You did all that time. Man.
And that's attached to an even bigger problem in our prison systems. Well-known documented gangs inside the chain gang. Some was members before incarceration. Some was after. Some joined for protection. And for some, that's all they know. In this video, we're going to highlight.
What's going to happen is that, what's that, Venezuela, where they built that new mega gang prison where the guys is like 150 to a dorm, concrete beds, no toilets. That joint is the gulag. Let me see. Can we bring it up? Let me go bring it up. Let's see. Get on my academics one time. Most secure prison in the world. Let's see. Is this going to come up? ADX Florence. No. Let's see. Most secure prison in. Let's type in South America. El Salvador prison gangs. When they start sending out our privileged, pampered American prisoners to the CCOP. That's what it's called, bro. Go look up the CCOP prison complex, man. When they start sending out little privileged American gang members to the CCOP, they're going to learn a lesson then. Because it's coming. It's definitely coming. Especially where you got families being damn near held hostage. That's like third world jails. In third world countries where they have a large riot in a jail and they hold all the visitors hostage for weeks and days and stuff, that basically could have happened here on American soil. Trumpet is definitely going to send you boys to the CCOP. Look up the CCOP, man.
The two well-known gangs that's a part of this story who seemed to got into a brawl that quickly escalated inside a jail that we'll later identify that had inmates brawling that wasn't even a part of both gangs. Some would say the gangs we'll later identify as no strangers to these type of riots in recent history. As mentioned in this video, we're going to talk about that problem that became public. The victims who lost their lives, speak on how they got incarcerated, and of course, pay our respects in the process. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. 3 are dead, and a dozen hospitalized after violence at Georgia's Washington State Prison on Sunday, January 11, 2026. Now, for those who are wondering, Washington State Prison is often called WSP, Davisboro, Georgia, a rural Washington County. 1991 it opened, with the security level being close security. Houses some of Georgia's most dangerous inmates, with the capacity of 1,500 inmates. As we all know, managed by Georgia's Department of Corrections. WSP is considered one of Georgia's most violent state prisons, especially during peak years of gang conflict. After doing my research, Georgia DOC intelligence and court filings have repeatedly identified active gang structures inside WSP. 2 we'll later identify for this story. Gangster Disciples, GD, Bloods, Crips, Ghostface Gangsters, GFG, white supremacist gangs, and independent street crews aligned with larger organizations. Now, key facts is that the gangs control contraband flow, including drugs, phones, and weapons. Green light orders, hits, are often coordinated inside prison but carried out both inside and outside. Many gang conflicts.
So what I often wondered was this. If there have been so many prisons and so many jails, why aren't prisons segregated or separated by time? Meaning as to where people with 1 to 6 years go to this prison, people with 5 to 11 years go to this prison, people with 11 to 16 years go to this prison, and so forth and so on. Why is it that they put somebody who might be in there for check fraud in a cell with somebody who's 100 plus pounds heavier than them, taller than them, and facing life or doing life for something heinous, some serious heinous crime? Why do you have a person who has 5 years, 4 years for check fraud in that type of danger? A lot more people need to sue these establishments. And it's not always about winning. Sometimes it's just about the suit itself, because the suit raises awareness and allows other people who may have a stronger case to come along and open that door for change.
USP are tied to street beefs, especially from Atlanta. Uprising, drones dropping off drugs.
Organized crime operation, and it's happening right here in central Georgia. Washington County Sheriff says they are battling a sophisticated criminal network operating all around the state.
Man,
nearly half of the suspects in Sheriff Joel
using the drones to drop off the work. And I don't like to, take the credit from my brothers, but we know who getting that dropped off. We can't even get along. You got the GDs and the Bloods showing they ass to kill each other, while the other ones is droning in packages, cell phones, knives, real knives from the street, not the made scratched on the floor, real butcher knives bought from the street, cell phones, the new cell phones, obviously the drugs, you understand? And don't be surprised if someone has a gun in there. We've had cases in America. Yeah, we've had cases in America where people have snuck guns in there. We just had a guy who boofed a gun, and that's he put a whole revolver in his body cavity, lower body cavity, snuck it into the jail and shot a man in jail. And the man was a black. It wasn't a non-black. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it is what it is. We know who getting that work with them drones.
Cochran's County Jail are charged in drone operations. Hunter King explains to us how Sheriff Cochran says groups use the drones to smuggle contraband into the state prison.
Washington County's sheriff says they respond to drone activity near the state prison almost every other week.
Man.
Sergeant C.J. Davis describes what they find.
Marijuana, tobacco, methamphetamine, clothing, food, phones.
Davis has worked at the sheriff's office for...
I 50-50 believe that. Because again, a lot of that stuff is getting walked right in. It's getting walked right in. It ain't all coming through drone. Drone is a way to throw the attention off the people that's walking it right in with no problem.
For 8 years. He arrested 4 suspects in October during a drone drop operation. Deputies recovered a drone, a controller, cellophane-wrapped packages, and a phone.
One car was actually the driver car of the drone and the illegal contraband, and one car was actually the drone pilots, as you so to speak.
The operations involve people from different parts of the state. Sheriff Joel Cochran says gangs run these criminal networks from inside Georgia prisons. He says the contraband phones enable inmates to commit crimes from their cells.
They're running scams from this jail, coordinating illegal activity through gang involvement with drugs, intimidating witnesses.
The sheriff's office has made arrests in 17 drone.
Man, you ever have a family member that's incarcerated, and then they might start an Instagram page, and then the next thing you know, there's a duplicate of that Instagram page using your family member's pictures, DMing you, asking you for money, talk about they'll be home soon. Nigga, Brody, Big Unc got a 9 million year sentence, and you talk about I'll be home real soon, man. You could send me some money. Man, shut your ass up.
drop cases this year. He says 74 of the 170 inmates in the county jail face charges related to prison drop cases. That's 44% of the jail population.
This is a huge criminal operation being run from within the Georgia State Prison facility.
He says only 2 Washington County residents have faced arrests in these cases over the past 5 to 6 years. The sheriff says most suspects come from other parts of Georgia. Reporting in Washington County, Hunter King, 13, WMAZ News.
Now, during the holidays, this same jail had went viral after a clip had surfaced to the public of what seemed to be another gang dispute.
Pay attention, young fellas. Pay attention, young fellas, man. When I say whole different world, when I say get your life together, man, it's dudes in that area that you see right there that'll kill you over a honey bun. Yeah. Yeah. They're not linking up, coming up with a way to better themselves. Yeah, man, they not linking up, coming up with a way to better they self together in there and work together against other situations. They is beefing with each other. They extorting each other, people that look like them. Notice you don't see any other race in this riot, in this war.
Now, one of these gang members that was housed during that situation and possibly involved is a gang member who promotes drugs, phones, basically contraband, while incarcerated on social media. He's also an aspiring rapper, and according to his transcript, also known.
Music, some cold trash. Bruh, stop being honest with these homies and these hood niggas, bruh. You will save their life, bruh. Let them know, bro, your music is trash. Go back to being a barber. Your music is trash, bruh. Go be a trash man and throw your music in the trash and take it to the damn trash yard. You understand? Go be a tow man and tow away your studio because your music is trash. Y'all will save these guys' life because when they trying to be a rapper and they trying to live a certain lifestyle so they can get a certain amount of attention, this leads to this activity right here. Nigga is in jail on a cell phone shooting music videos.
That's a GD. His real name, Teddy Jackson, 27 years old. His rap name is 2 Clips Take Away the C with a K. He's known for doing music videos, or at least thrillers, while inside Washington County Prison.
Why they don't trust them? Demon child, nigga. Hey, shit all facts, nigga. Free guy. Hey, look, before I pay for me a drill, bitch, I go do that shit myself. Niggas hoes, the boys ain't never do me nothing. Anytime I had a drop, I let my young and DJ jump. Niggas fucking can't they score. I think it's time them niggas.
No, bruh. No. No. No, no, no. No, bruh. I feel like a large part of these generations, even including my generation, got lost in chasing what they call them, chasing dreams. You had dudes that spent their whole life hooping and balling and training and didn't worry about nothing else. And then when they didn't make it to the league, they had nothing else to fall back on. You had guys that spent their whole youth and all these years rapping and trying to be a rapper and going to do a show here, going to do a show there, to get to a certain age where rap is kind of like reject, because rap has become a young man's game. You know what I'm saying? If you aren't already established as an older artist, it's kind of hard to break into the game. You know what I'm saying? And those guys who spent their whole youth doing nothing but rapping, dropped out of school, going to the studio, doing a little show here, do a show there, is why I said get a trade. Get a trade. Get 2 jobs if you don't got a trade. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to wind up in situations like this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man told me it's 3 things. The worst thing is death. The second worst thing is being in jail. And the third worst thing is being in the hospital or paralyzed or something where you can't like do for yourself. That's all 3 hells. And you know, you need to work hard to stay out of these dumbass situations. Sit 5 baby mamas because your favorite rapper got 12 baby mamas.
He was talking now, he got a husband. I put the gas to the floor and I put out.
Look. I ain't get the words out my mouth. Nike Ski Tech face mask. Nike Steep Tech. Nike Tech jacket. Pounds of marijuana. How? How is this a possibility? You telling me this all coming from drone activity? I don't believe it, bruh. If a dude came outside and he had on, I'm guessing, his regular prison jumpsuit, how is he getting back in the building with 2 big ass bags of weed? Where is he hiding it at? How is he ain't putting that in the body cavity? Come on, man.
Ain't no more than put out. No, they listen, I know what to put out.
Now, for the last 6 years, Teddy been locked up. Now 27 years old since 21. He was arrested in 2019 alongside 4 other individuals inside a Macon home on the 2800 block of Blunt Street. The Bibbs County Sheriff's Office say 4 of the men were felons and had firearms in their possession. It was around 3:40 p.m. Deputies went to the home to serve warrants on 21-year-old Teddy Dwayne Jackson. When deputies arrived, they found 4 other males in the house with Jackson. According to them, they located 4 firearms along with drugs in the residence, and all 5 subjects were taken into custody at the time. At the moment, they didn't have a bond, but eventually they did. Jackson went on a run. He was eventually apprehended 2 months later. He was taken to Bibb County Jail and charged with 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, 3 counts of aggravated assault, criminal use of an article with altered ID mark, and possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, and probation violation. And unfortunately, Jackson, he was one of the individuals who was allegedly a part of the GD side against the Bloods, who got into an altercation and lost his life. Rest in peace.
So is he the one that only had 48 hours left, bruh? Listen, he was a part of the altercation, but them dudes know who coming in before they get there. They know who about to go home when it's time for him to be ready to go home. You think it's coincidental that of all the people on the compound, the guy who was, oh man, I'm about to say this and I'm thrown off to have to say it. The guy who was having it. He's got the marijuana. He's got the chains. He's got it all. He was having it. Gets killed with only 48 hours left to go on his bed. Y'all think that's coincidental?
Another alleged member was a guy named Jimmy Lee Trammell. He was older, 42 years old, as mentioned, allegedly a part of the GDs. He'd been locked up since 2012, 13 years ago, for burglary in the 1st degree. He was set to be released on January 14th. 2026. According to Jimmy Ott, he was transferred to Washington State Prison recently ahead of his scheduled release Wednesday. She said the warden had called Tramell's brother late Sunday to tell him that
man, he would have been better off staying where he was at unless he got transferred because he was already involved in some stuff. But if he got transferred ahead of his release, he probably was doing good staying out the way. You know what I'm saying? And all that to come down there and you only got 48 hours left and get taken out, man, that's crazy.
Tramell had been fatally stabbed in a fight. May he rest in peace and love and condolences to his family. Unofficial word of his death had already reached the family from an inmate with a contraband cell phone. And the 3rd victim in his prison hide was Ahmad Hatcher
Hey,
was 23 years old. Hatcher was serving 20 years.
Shout out to the dude that made that phone call home and let his family know what's going on. Because a lot of times when something happened to your family member, and the prisons know they liable, they'll hide it. They'll hide your family member. They'll call home and tell you that they don't know where they at. They lost in transition, transportation, and all this other shit. When the whole time your family member be laid up somewhere, poked up. You know what I'm saying? Trying to survive. They won't tell you. So shout out to whoever it was, and I'm not picking sides, but shout out to whoever it was that was on man time enough to take that phone and call his family and let them know. You know what I'm saying? Your brother got deleted. You know what I'm saying?
Aggravated assault in Richmond County. May he rest in peace and love condolences to his family. It was alleged that he allegedly joined the Bloods gang. Apparently, all three died as mentioned, as a fight broke out at Washington State Prison at around 1:30 p.m. on Sunday. The press release said the staff tried to clear the visitation area after the altercation started. Apparently, this happened in front of several family members, which intensified the fight. No visitors were injured during the brawl, but according to the press release, the disturbance was under control.
That's this time. I guarantee you, if this turned into a pattern, and if certain delegations are involved, they'll definitely have no problem holding those innocent family members and visitors as hostages, or even attacking one of them, because you may be family member to the guy that's been attacked or stabbed up, and you know what I'm saying? You might want to defend them or jump in it, or we might just get you just to hurt them as well.
After an hour and a half, 3 p.m., the GDC said 14 additional people, 13 inmates and 1 correctional officer, were injured during the fight. 11 prayers stay away.
Investigation is underway tonight as 3 inmates are dead and a correctional officer injured. That's after an altercation at the Washington State Prison Sunday night. The men and the prison are on the screen behind me right here. Ahmad Hatcher, Jimmy Trammell.
So does this translate? Because a lot of the times, and this how backwards and retarded the street culture has made these generations, right? These last 2-3 generations. The guys in the streets say this came from higher up to the guys that are in the prison. So you got guys that are in the streets, free will, have the opportunity to do the right thing, get some money, stay low key. They're taking orders from guys who are in the prison. Now, I'm not knocking on the guys who are in the prison. Free the bros. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is this: prison is at the bottom. Prison is at the bottom, like it's death, it's homelessness, it's prison, it's paraplegic. Prison is at the bottom. How do you guys consider that being the guys up top? The word came from the guys up top. Yeah, the big homies up top. So you literally have them training these generations to hustle to make it to the top. You're not a real nigga unless you done made it up top and talk to the guys up top. You know what I'm saying? That's how backwards they have these generations right now.
And Teddy Jackson died in what officials believe was a gang-related fight. Hatcher was serving 20 years related to an aggravated assault from here in Richmond County. Jimmy Trammell was serving 20 years.
20 years for aggravated assault. He shot somebody the hell up.
For first-degree burglary out of Fulton County, and Teddy Jackson was serving 10 years for aggravated assault in Bibb County. Maggie Fitzgerald reports from the Washington State Prison tonight.
Inside Washington State Prison, a Sunday brawl left 3 inmates dead and families searching for answers. But an eyewitness telling us today it all happened.
I saw some footage on Reddit that one of them guys, and they post like they not incarcerated. They post like it's not going to be seen and viewed and possibly go viral. They post like they're free. I seen a Reddit post where the guy was showing out the window, him and his cellmate was talking, and they was showing just a bunch of guys running out with all type of freaking samurai swords and machetes, and man, these dudes had all type of knives. And there was one guy laying on the ground being stabbed multiple times in between the fences. I wonder if that guy happened to be one of them.
Happened inside the prison's visitation area, where she says a group of inmates burst through the door, bloodied and armed, leaving visitors scrambling.
It's really just now hitting me how dangerous it really was.
I wonder if they bust into the visitation room. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if they bust in there because that was the only place they could go to escape. Like they said, they was bloodied and armed, which means they was already in the shits. They probably was looking to get out the way. That's why they didn't hurt none of the visitors, because they was trying to get out the way themselves. They was armed, defending themselves. And look, we in here, we getting out the mix.
How much worse it could have been.
Tonight, an eyewitness says it all happened in seconds. A routine Sunday visit with a loved one at Washington State Prison turning into a nightmare. The witness asked to remain anonymous for her safety, but she says something felt off when she saw guards bolt out of the visitation area Sunday afternoon, leaving one female officer inside.
Something going on. We heard very loud, almost yelling coming from the walkie-talkies. You could hear her say, "Don't open that door, you can't come in here."
Shouting from the guard, first directed at inmates deeper into the facility, then to visitors, telling them to get out. The witness says the group overpowered a guard, taking his keys to then break into the visiting room.
I haven't been to no visitations down there, and I haven't visited a prison to visit somebody since I was a minor, a little boy going to visit my father. But where you wanted them to get to? You yelling at the visitors to get out and go where? I'm sure their visitation room is obviously connected to the prison, so it's not no just get out. Like, where did you want them to go? One, I still don't understand that part.
Hot on our heels because there's blood and weapons, and they just busted through a door. They're standing between us and our loved ones.
The riot-style attack left 3 men dead, including 23-year-old Ahmad Hatcher. Hatcher's family says they are demanding answers and accountability, claiming he had warned his mother about unsafe conditions inside the prison.
A piece of my heart just was torn out of my chest. He was scared of his life. They were a cause of my son to get killed because they wasn't doing their job.
And Sheriff Joel Cochran says the scene was secure and
on my chest. He was scared of his life. They were
warned his mother about unsafe conditions inside the prison.
A piece of my heart just was torn out of my chest. He was scared of his life. They were a cause of my son to get killed because they wasn't doing their job.
And Sheriff Joel,
man, see, and I wonder, because they said, I think he was the blood. But either way, this is what I'm saying. I wonder if he only even joined the gang because he was already in fear of his life and he needed protection. Do your homework on a lot of people being raised Christian, and I'm not knocking, you got to do what you got to do to survive, but coming home Muslim because they had to get with somebody to stay safe in there. Yo, y'all need to take videos like this and study them. And I know this get ready to sound wild, but I think they need to make videos like this available and uncensored. You understand? Stop selling it to the media, monetizing it, and release it uncensored. Make it something that's available for these kids to see so it can deter them from going to prison and jail.
Cochran says the scene was secure and all inmates were accounted for by 6 p.m. on Sunday. The GDC is investigating.
As we said at the very beginning, it's a world in itself inside this world, fam. When you step into them prison walls, 4x4, nothing but concrete, it hit different. And the facts are this: we talked about a young man who was in his early 20s, serving 20. A man who served 13 from a 20-year.
He got a year for every year of his life. In his early 20s, serving 20 is ridiculous.
Your sentence expected to be released in just 2 days. Then he lose his life. A man who served 7 of his 10 years who looked like he was living well in jail loses his as well. No expiration date. And in jail, no such thing as running. I'm sending 11 prayers to everyone who was affected by this story. Once again, rest in peace to the victim. Fam, this was the latest story of a jail in a rural area in Georgia to house some of the most violent inmates you can.
So shout out to the Family TV, another great piece of content. Y'all drop it in the comments. I will respond to them. Let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about this? You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about this? I feel like, again, maybe Scared Straight program. Scared Straight didn't work. Maybe give these guys a weekend in the fucking jail, like some community service time. Nigga, you want to graduate? You done got in trouble a time or two before? Yeah, we give you a weekend. You need to give us this many hours in jail so you could see what it's like. And maybe it'll change some of these kids' minds, you know, because I do think a lot of these young YNs, as they're called, don't really know about stuff like that, because this is crazy, and this is just one incident that they decided to publicize and talk about. But I also think they just don't think that their actions have serious consequences. Anyway, y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. This was more informative to me than anything. Again, catch me on the next video, you guys.